All right, guys, so we continue to work on factoring trinomials. So 3 terms again over here. And then a, in this case, a equals to 1. Because in other videos going forward, we're going to have where a is not equal to 1. So that's a different ball game, right? So the question here is 2x squared plus 26x plus 44. So comparing to the problems that we had before, this one is just a little bit different. And why? It's because anytime, ladies and gentlemen, anytime you have a problem like this, you always want to find out if you have any common factor to work on first. Do you have anything in common for all the 3 terms? If yes, you got to take it out. If no, you continue, right? So in this case, we have 2x squared plus 26x plus 44. Is there anything that we have in common for all those 3 terms? Yes, because 2 can go into all of them evenly. So if 2 goes into all of them evenly, what do we have? So 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we end up with x squared for the first one, correct? And then 2 goes into 26 how many times? 13 times. So that gives us what? 13x. And then 2 goes into 44 how many times? 22 times. So we have 22 in this case. All right? So that's the first thing that you do, is to pull out the 2. So this is what we call the greatest common factor, right? GCF. So you guys can go back to the previous videos that we did on this one, the greatest common factor. That's a GCF. So we use GCF for now. We are not finished. Remember, we're dealing with a trinomial. And then we have the AC method to use. So AC method now is inside the parentheses. So that means what? A is equal to what? A equals to 1. B equals to what? 13. C equals to what? 22. So that's what we have. So for now, the 2 here, we carry it. We just keep it there. We don't worry about it, okay? Only what we have inside the parentheses. So A times C is what? So A times C is 22 because it's 1 times 22 is 22. So now we're looking for 2 numbers, ladies and gentlemen, the moment of truth. We're looking for 2 numbers. When you multiply the 2 numbers, you got to get 22. In the same time, when you add them up, you get 13, which is the B. Remember, 2 numbers multiply give you 22, add up give you 13. So what would that be? Okay? So always you got to find the multiples of 22. That means what? 1 and 22, for example, is a multiple of that. What else? We got 2 and 11. All right? Because 2 times 11 is 22. Do we have any other multiples here? I don't think so. Correct? So now, after you get the multiples, the next move is what? To be able to find 13 when you add them up. 1 plus 22, can you get 13 out of it? No way. Now, when it comes to 2 and 11, 2 plus 11 is 13. So here, we should be very happy because the second number gives you this one. And then what happens? You bring down the 2 and you are pretty much done. Which means what? You have x here plus 2 and then you have x here plus 11. And again, it doesn't matter which one you put first. It could have been 2 times x plus 11 times x plus 2 and then you are done. This is how we deal with such a problem. So you have to be very careful anytime we ask you to factor any problem. Always look inside. Do I have anything in common to pull out? If you can, you do it first because it makes your life a lot easier. Okay? So that's for our first question. Now let's go to the second one. So we have x to the 3rd power plus x squared minus 20x. All right? So we got 3 terms over here as well. So we still going to do what? Ladies and gentlemen, go there and then see if you have anything in common for all the 3 terms. Do you have anything in common for the 3 terms? Yes, I have x. Correct? So in this case, it's not the number, but it's the variable. So it's x is in common, so I have x out. And then what is left? So if I divide x to the 3rd by x, what am I going to get? I'm going to get x squared. Ladies and gentlemen, go back to our previous videos where we dealt with polynomials when we are dividing 2 polynomials, for example, 2 terms, so that you can catch up on that. So here, x squared divided by x is going to give you what? It's going to give us x. And then for the last but not least, negative 20 only. Correct? Now, you can do something very quickly. Do yourself justice, right? If you multiply the x all across, you should be able to get this back. If you don't get it back, ladies and gentlemen, you're doing something wrong. So that means x times x squared is what? x3. X times x is what? X squared. X times negative 20 is 20x. So that means you're on the right track. Now you can continue with what we have inside the parentheses. which is x squared plus x minus 20. So now, what is A? A equals to 1, B equals to 1, C equals to negative 20, right? So we have our A, B, and C. So now we're going to multiply A times C, which is what? A times C will give us negative 20. So A times C, which is giving us negative 20. So once you have this one, the question next is, what are the multiples of 20? Which are 1 and 20, for example, 4 and 5, for example. What else can we have? We can have 10 and 2. Okay, so we can stop here. So these are 3 multiples of 20 that we just had, correct? So now we got to go down the line to see when we add them up, are we going to get 1? 1 and 20. Is there any way where we're going to add or subtract 1 and 20 to get positive 1? There is no way. How about 4 and 5? It seems like it, correct? But then one got to be a minus, the other one got to be a positive, because when you multiply, you're getting negative 20, and when you add, you're getting positive 1. So that means what? So if we go negative 4 and then positive 5, because negative 4 times positive 5 will give you negative 20, and then negative 4 plus 5 will give us what? Positive 1. So that means this combination is the best to use, or actually the only one. So then you end up with x. So this one will give you what? X minus 4 times x plus 5. So, ladies and gentlemen, the whole work is here. If you're able to master this one, go back to our previous videos and you should be able to master them. You become an expert. It goes quicker. Maybe even under 1 minute, okay? I'm just trying to be presumptuous here. But in any case, you can do it, all right? So from these 2 questions, you can see how dynamic these questions can be when it comes to factoring trinomials, all right?